What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today I'm going to talk about something. This news is a few days old, so I'm sure every other YouTuber's talked about it. I don't know, but I'm going to take a different approach than a lot of people. At least I think. I haven't heard anybody take this approach on it because this is what I do. So anyway, PlayStation is skipping E3 2019. Sony will be a no-show for the first time ever. And it says, PlayStation is officially skipping E3 2019 according to an announcement from Sony. This marks the first time in the 24-year history of E3 that the gaming giant won't attend the show. In a statement released to Game Informer, Sony confirmed that it will be skipping the annual conference, commenting, as the industry evolves, Sony Interactive Entertainment continues to look for inventive opportunities to engage the community. PlayStation, blah, 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 blah. As a result, we're not going to be at E3. And notice they didn't say they would be back or whatever. They just kind of left it open-ended. Now, my view on this is really simple. Nintendo, always ahead of the game, always setting the trends, always letting everybody else follow. So if you go back to whatever it was, 2010 maybe, 2011, when Nintendo announced that they would not, be in attendance. These ads moving around are driving me crazy. But Nintendo announced that they would not be in attendance at E3 anymore. And everybody, all the Nintendo haters, they were like, oh, this is a sign that Nintendo is going under. They're so out of touch. No, Nintendo gets it. Nintendo's typically ahead of the curve. And sometimes it takes a little while for that curve to, complete. And you finally see like, oh, wow, they are actually on the right path. And so they made that announcement. They saw that there was an opportunity with, the Directs, the Nintendo Directs, where you can just speak directly to your consumer. You're not constantly having to compete with everybody else for this big presentation, and it's really a waste of time and money and resources, really. And so Nintendo made that decision several years ago. Now, the immediate results of that was the Wii U, and we all know the Wii U was a colossal failure for the company. Now, I love the Wii U. I thought the Wii U was a great system, but it was mishandled fundamentally in so many different ways. I'm not going to get into all that, but Nintendo screwed up with the Wii U. But luckily, they came out of that. We have the Switch. The 3DS has been amazing. Nintendo is here to stay. Sorry, all of you people that think Nintendo's going somewhere. They're not. But that's what I thought about when this announcement happened. Now, again, this is pure speculation on my part. I could be wrong, okay? But I think that Sony, just like they brought out the PlayStation Move after the Wii, and then just like the Kinect came out after the Move and after the Wii, I think Sony's looking at Nintendo and going, you know what? They're on to something here. We shouldn't have to go bring all of our time, money, resources, and energy into this event for it to, ultimately, what is the big payoff here? Everything gets leaked anyway. You know what I mean? So what is the big payoff to going to E3 and putting on these massive presentations when you're competing with other presentations? And at the end of the day, everything's leaked. The only thing that can happen is massive negativity. We saw it with Xbox a few years ago with the Xbox One reveal. We all know that was an all-time disaster at E3, and how they handled it, how people responded to it. And in some ways, Microsoft is still dealing with that. That's how bad that was. We just saw it a few weeks ago with Blizzard at BlizzCon, and how that presentation was a monumental failure for them. And then the response to the live crowd, they didn't have their finger on the pulse of the fans. The fans responded negatively. All these videos went viral. It was a big problem. The risk is not worth the reward, I guess is the point I'm making. You can go there and you can put on a good presentation, but pretty much with the internet and the instant information we're in, everybody knows everything that's going to be shown. So you can really only screw up right now. So I think Sony is going to move away from E3, and I think Microsoft's probably going to do the same thing in terms of the presentation. Now, they're obviously still, like, Sony's not going to be there at all, I don't think, at all, whereas Nintendo and Microsoft are still going to be there, but Nintendo's not going to be giving a presentation. They haven't done that in a long time. And I think that does this spell doom and gloom for E3? I don't necessarily believe that at all. I think E3 is a great event. I've never been to E3, but I think it's a phenomenal event. But I think that, they have to just revamp it, restructure it a little bit. I think that it's a good opportunity for gaming companies to put on some type of smaller, opportunities to interact with gamers and to get their word out. But the presentation aspect of it, I just don't see it being a big thing anymore, because, again, why do you want to compete with all of these giants in the room at the same time when you can just do it directly on your YouTube channel, and the way social media is now? I just don't think it's beneficial. So and again, E3's attendance was at an all-time high last year. So I don't think that E3 is going away. I just think that E3 as it is probably needs to be restructured. And I think that that's probably going to happen. But we'll see. Maybe next year I'll be wrong. Maybe or a year after, maybe, Sony will show back up with the PlayStation 5 announcement and, I'll be wrong. But right now, to me, it looks like with Nintendo's success and what they've done, I think Sony's looking at that, and they don't have a lot to show. Let's call it out. I mean, they Red Dead's out, which that's a multi-plat, but Spider-Man, God of War, everything's out. You know what I mean? So they truly don't have anything, but they could have shown up and they could have talked about something. I just don't think that it's worth their time and effort right now, and I hope that they do the Nintendo route, and I hope that at E3, I hope they just restructure this entire format. And I think it could be really cool for the consumers and for the companies. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. As usual, Nintendo, man. Nintendo. They're the best. I love Nintendo. I'm always going to love Nintendo. I'll be critical of Nintendo when I have to be. And I've been critical in the past. Like I said, with the Wii U, I think the Wii had some really good games, but finding those good games was almost like a needle in a haystack because, I know you remember this. You go into a GameStop and you look on the wall for all the Wii games, and it was completely saturated with these family-friendly, gimmicky, garbage games. And you really had to look hard to find the few gems that were on that system. So it worked for what it was, but the Wii it's not a good system. It was a gimmick. The Wii U was a good system, but the marketing, they botched everything with that. But Nintendo is back with the Switch. The Switch is amazing, the 3DS, and Nintendo's here to stay. So that's it. You guys have a great day. We will talk to you later.